No one ever picked up that there was a problem. I had prenatal care right from the beginning. I remember looking at her in the bassinet next to me, and I saw her just as she was, that, she had special little hands and feet. And I announced to everyone in the room that I love her just the way she is, and she's beautiful.
So Kimberly was born with a condition called Sinani-Lentz syndrome, and it's a condition where primarily affects her hands and her feet, where the bones are fused together. This is a syndrome that less than 30 people have been identified worldwide, so extraordinarily rare.
Well, I would say it was in middle school. That's when I knew I wanted to become a pediatric nurse. I had an experience as a patient with a night shift nurse, and she comforted me when I wasn't feeling good, and that was something that I never forgot. And I knew with my experiences as a patient that I could bring something different to being a nurse.
Riverside University Health System has just been wonderful, just so loving and kind, and they fought to help Kimberly meet her goal to become a nurse. They really did.
It was like high school and college. I was volunteering here, and Dr. Clark was actually the one that told me to come and volunteer here, and she wanted me to just hold the babies, and I just fell in love with it, and it became my dream to work here.
Kimberly, of course, had applied to nursing programs who essentially could not see the value she would bring to their team because they couldn't see past her underlying condition, but that's because they didn't know her. It was really exciting for us as physicians to see the nursing leadership also come around her and the nurse educators and help her learn techniques or envision techniques of how to achieve the tasks that nursing requires on a day-to-day basis with her limitations of the use of her hands.
The first thing I told her is, I will teach you everything you need to know, but you're going to have to be tough enough to stick with it.
I always compared it as like tying your shoes. It's something that you have to learn. It's not something that you can't do, but it's something that you have to learn. And I mean, I was born this way. I grew up this way. So for me, it's just another thing I have to learn. I also worked with IVs, learning how to work with that equipment and how to insert it. And Tamula let me put some in her. God bless her heart.
I let her practice IV starts on me because it's much different in the real life setting than it is starting IVs on a dummy.
I do remember too in nursing school, we had to start IVs on each other. And I remember everyone at my table could not get their IV, and I was the only person to get my IV. So that was just like a huge relief to me, just being a step ahead of everybody else. That's how I wanted to be, and I felt I had to be that way in order to prove myself.
Anytime you give Kimberly a challenge, she's gonna rise up to meet it. If you tell her no, you can't do that, she's gonna dig in harder and she is gonna do it. She will figure out a way.
Kimberly is a very popular nurse. When I go in and I talk to families about the nurses and who I can give an extra thanks to, children often talk about Kimberly and the kids can relate to her. I think a lot of kids are here because there's something wrong with them, and to have a nurse who is physically different than what would be normally perceived, it's a point of conversation and also something they can connect to.
It's scary to have a child that's born, with any special, needs, but God is so faithful, and I've watched Him take care of her whole life. Riverside University Health System is family to us, is family to Kimberly.
The amazing thing about Riverside University Health System is that the staff and the physicians really feel like a family, and we come together as that family to really embrace health and wellness for the community of Riverside County. And when donors and community members come alongside us and support us, they're really supporting journeys like Kimberly's, journeys that might have stalled in other locations, but we're different here at Riverside. We believe in each other and we support each other and uplift each other. And that support not only impacts today's generation, but it's going to impact future generations to come.